Hey y'all, this is AL Thick Madame, and this is the recap review for Belle Collective. So, this episode began with Tambra meeting up for lunch at what seemed to be a black-owned business. Hint, hint, go and watch my previous video that I uploaded where I am discussing certain black-owned businesses that I have actually purchased certain products from that I'm using and or plan to use. And let me know if you have actually used them yourself. But anyway, shameless plug. I'm not being sponsored. Make sure I say that as well. But yeah, I think it's a black-owned business. But anyway, they are meeting up to have lunch so that Tambra can discuss her plans for the future, because y'all know that what she wants to do would more than likely have her having to leave Jackson, Mississippi. She wants to do national type of situations. And right now she's basically being limited in a sense by being just a radio personality in Jackson, Mississippi. She wants to be able to do a lot of things where she is known all over the nation. So yeah, y'all. Anyway, she's talking to her and she's like, well, did you ever want a family? And you can tell that they have some sort of a kind of personal relationship for her to ask her that. So she was like, yeah, I mean, I wanted it all, but you could tell that work got in the way and she let work supersede anything else, and she never got the family that she wanted. So she goes on to tell her that, well, I don't know if I told you this before, but did you know that I froze my eggs? Did I tell you that? And so the woman, Ramona, was like, no, you didn't tell me that. So she was like, yeah, I froze my eggs. She let her know that she met up with her parents, and basically everybody wants to know if and when she's going to start a family, what she got going on. The woman was like, do you have a baby daddy or somebody in mind that you want to start this family with? Because you saying you want all these things. And it's like, I get it. And I'm like, I feel like everybody can pretty much have it all if they want to. I've seen it done where they had a successful marriage, they had the family, and they were able to work, and the children were not lacking for anything. There was no disconnect when it came to the relationship between them and their children, which is something that I know a lot of people struggle with, and they hope is not something that is going to be a defining factor in the downfall of the bond that they should be able to have with their kids as they get older. But yeah, she was talking about that, and she's just wanting to know if she will be able to have a place in her world for all of that if she does eventually go down that road. So we'll see how that go. But I was kind of like, really, this is how I started off? Because I literally just talked with one of my friends, and last night and even into this morning we were talking, and this is the deepest we've gotten. We just started getting like really personal, talking about certain things over the past few months. I don't know what happened, because we've always kept everything surface. Hey, how you doing? How your family doing? And she knew I had a relationship with somebody when we were in college, because she and I were in this organization together, and he was in the same organization as well. It's the guy who I keep referring to as my ex, who's from Huntsville. So she knew about him and I dating. That's really the most intimate detail that she knew up until like recent months, I guess you could say. Anything that I put on social media she knew of, but like really going deep to where nobody really knew certain things, we were talking, and I had no idea she wanted to have kids. She thought that she would have had kids by now. She said she's been trying everything to have kids, and she just got out of a bad relationship, just had a bad breakup, and she's in a space now where her mother's older. She just hit 40 when her birthday came. So she'll be 41 later on this year. I think she's a Virgo. And she is kind of struggling with a lot of other things. But at the same time, when it comes to kids, she's scared that her mother is going to pass away without ever having a grandchild, without having ever seen her or her sister or her brother produce a grandchild. And she really wants kids. Her sister does not plan on having kids. She's dog mom. She's one of those, and her brother, I don't know what he got going on, but apparently they ain't gonna have none, so I don't know, but she's been in her feelings, so it was interesting that the episode started out like this. Letitia met up with the councilman that she, met up with, who is Tambra's, her cousin? Or family friend, cousin or somebody. And an appraiser, y'all, I'm saying it wrong, an appraiser, and someone who is over the contracts for Jackson, Mississippi, and she's getting the numbers, and it's kind of a lot. They're telling her that, first of all, she's not going to be able to buy that building. She has been talking about all this whole time. She wants to buy this building. The fact that it's one of the few two-story buildings on that block, it really drawed attention for her, so that she will be able to have an event space up at the top floor, and on the bottom floor, she'll have like something else. Like something's gonna be at the top, and something is gonna be whatever, y'all. Y'all know what I'm talking about. Because she was talking about she was gonna do brunches in one spot, and brunches in some resource center, and then something else at the top or whatever. Y'all know what I'm talking about. My bad. So anyway, ultimately, it looked like it's going to be around $2 million for her to come up off of. The only thing they can do for her is lease it to her, and then they will be able to approach that question as to whether or not she could purchase it years down the road, I guess, after they see how she's able to handle things, if people are actually going to come and support that business that she sees the vision for. And if ain't nobody coming, and ain't no revenue being brought up and brought to the table, then there will be no reason for them to even allow her to purchase it. And it's higher in appraisal because of the fact that they have it listed as a historical site. So yeah, she wasn't expecting that, but she got a rude awakening when she got as far as that is concerned. But it is what it is. She's making it seem like she is ready for the challenge, and that she has women with deep pockets who will hopefully rise to the occasion as well. Marie and her son went to their first counseling session, and I want to say this. I'm so glad that there was a Black man who was the person that was administering this type of situation. I'm glad that he was the one who facilitated it. I feel like that's exactly what needed to happen in this situation, because her son has already not had any type of role model or anybody that he would be able to feel comfortable enough going to seek out any type of advice. Not that any was being, offered up from what I can tell. But anyway, good call to whoever decided to get this Black man. And that was a Black owned business yet again. And like I said, let me do shameless plug. I did do a video right before this one that is highlighting some Black owned businesses. There are going to be 3 different videos. So yeah, before the end of this month, hopefully, if my last box comes, it should. Before the end of this month, I will have 3 separate videos. The last one is going to be the main one. It is very, very important to me. Y'all don't understand. But you will once you watch the videos. So anyway, back to what happened. So they had their first session, and she allowed the recording to play because she was saying that she didn't want him to repeat what was said or have to repeat what was said. And he listened to part of it and said that he didn't feel like he needed to listen to the rest. And he kind of relayed all of his information that he wanted to get through to him in a way that let him know that, hey, you're into sports. You know that your behavior and your anger can result in you not being able to play right. So Marie said that she appreciated the way that he broke it down in a way that related strictly to basketball. And you can tell that he really was paying attention. So, I mean, I don't know if anything is going to be applied. Hopefully it will. But yeah, I want to see the actions, because a lot of people can say, oh, I'm sorry, I apologize, it'll never happen again, and I've changed, I was just having a bad day. But no actions have been put into place. So yeah, all in all, her son was just like, I just didn't understand why she was acting the way she did. I felt like what was going on for no reason, because I'm still going to school at the end of the day. And so she was just saying again that she didn't understand why he came at her like that, when she just wants him to understand that he is in a unique position where he has a mama who is riding for him, who there for him. He is getting all the support, and it's support that she never had. Apparently her mama walked out of her life when she was 8-9 years old. Why? I have no idea, but she wanted to be like her mama, and then her mama walked out of her life, and she became pregnant with him, who is her oldest child, when she was 18 years old. And so she wanted to basically be everything that her mother wasn't to her. Everything she was lacking and didn't get from her mother, she wanted to give that to him. So yeah, they were trying to make it seem like it was a good session, so hopefully it was. Latrice is at work and she's trying to, get everything straight. She's still out of like closures, and she said it was because of COVID, but she wants everything to be up and running and to be how it needs to be for her hair care line and all that stuff. But yeah, what she call it, essentials? Who chat? But anyway, yeah, essentials. She's trying to get that up and going, and things are happening because of COVID. So now, pretty much most of the ladies should be meeting up to visit the Mississippi Civil Rights Museum. Right now, I'm watching it. I haven't completed this scene, but Letitia and Antoinette have met up first, and it's raining outside, and so they're walking through. So yeah, the only people that ended up showing up to the museum were Letitia and Antoinette. It was just something that I thought everybody showed up to because of a clip that they showed. There was a preview. But yeah, something gonna happen later on, I guess. But anyway, so they ended up going through the whole museum, or portions of it, and Letitia became very overwhelmed, and it's understandable because being Black is an issue for people. You're Black, minding your business, and it's like, how dare you? Like, it's crazy. Like, it's mind-boggling. And yeah, it's just a lot. But anyway, the two of them sat down, they talked, and we're just trying to understand, why is it that the change has not come, and hopefully they can be a part of the change that we desperately need. So who I want to say, Tambra, because I was about to say the wrong name. Tambra met up with her ex that her parents were wondering if she still has any dealings with, and his name is Demon or something like that. Anyway, they met up for a date, and ultimately they get down to business. And so he was like, well, do you know why we never really were able to make it when we were together? And she was like, I have no idea. And he was like, well, when we were together, you might have thought that the romance part was like pushed to the side, and we were like more like just friends. But the reason I did that was because I was trying to support you and your dream. So ultimately, it kind of backfired a little bit, because she ended up getting with somebody who was very supportive, but she wasn't able to get the family and all that stuff that she wanted. I feel like more has happened, but I mean, I could be wrong. I really feel like something else might have happened, and that's why they finally ended things. I want to know. Well, let me put it like this. I want to know if more happened, if there's more to the story as to why they didn't make it, because she's making it seem like wasn't nothing going on, ain't nothing like that, and they just were together for 16 years and it's just over. So he wanted to know if they could have a second date, and she said she don't see nothing wrong with it. And so, he looked kind of nice. He looks thick. He's the type of thick that I, would look at and be like, oh, okay. But anyway, yeah. And his voice might be because he is and or was a smoker. I don't know. But yeah, he's a looker. He looks nice. And he keeps himself up, you can tell. So anyway, y'all, we are at Letitia's brunch with a purpose, and the councilman is there, and Antoinette's white friend is there, and it's kind of weird because it's supposed to be a black women's brunch. So why would a black man and a white woman be there if it's a black woman empowerment brunch? Anyway, Tambra was free this time, so she was able to be the MC, and she already know how she rolled when it comes to her functions. So she was like, well, I know she's going to want to do the affirmations. And so she went on ahead, and her affirmation was, I am a beautiful, black, strong woman. And the black man and the white woman in the room were the two people to link up and had to look crazy at one another because this affirmation had nothing to do with them. But okay. So she wants to eventually tell everybody about the Fair Street Project, and the only one in the room who really knows about it is Tambra. So Tambra is very excited and hyping it up. Marie said that she's excited to hear what the announcement is going to be. So we're going to see what happens. Okay, y'all, so the brunch is still underway, and then race gets brought into question because Tambra wants to know how many ladies there have experienced some form of racism. Everyone but one black woman raises her hand. And so Tambra says, I was you just a few months back, because up until recent months, I'd never experienced racism. So she tell everybody what happened or whatever, and she actually goes in her confessional and says something about how she went to one of those gas stations where the pump attendant comes out and pumps your gas. We have like literally one location like that here. And they have to come out to pump your gas. And she had already been there waiting, and some older white woman pulled up, and all of a sudden they knew to come outside, and they were servicing her. She said she let her window down and was like, oh, so am I not being serviced today? What is going on here? So anyway, they were talking about it, and so the conversation is happening. Keep in mind, Kaylon, the white woman, is still present. She get in her feelings and excuse herself, and so Antoinette feels obligated to chase after her because that's her friend that she invited to a black women's empowerment brunch. I don't know if you heard me. She invited this woman to an empowerment brunch that has everything to do with black women. And so she felt attacked because she feels as though everybody is saying all these things about white people. And she said, and had the audacity to say out of her mouth, that white people are not like that. And she got really emotional, started crying. Like, she kept on talking about white people are like that. I don't know why they keep saying this. White people are like that. I'm like, you come from a prominent family in Mississippi, and somehow you think white people are not like that. And then when she got back to the table after everybody came out and coddled her, all the people who did come out to coddle her, she got back to the table and cried some more and said that her great, I don't know how many greats she added on to it, granddaddy was Jefferson Davis. Y'all, we ain't finna get into none of this. I'm tired. All I'm gonna say is it's Black History Month, so I'm not even finna get into the specifics of that. But look it up if you don't know the history and who he is and all of that. But she was like, he's my grandfather. I was like, girl, you ain't helping your case. What is going on here? You are not helping your case. So then it gets to the point where Marie tied her spirit of hearing all of this. And she was like, excuse me, I don't mean to interrupt, but this is Letitia's brunch, and I think we have discussed this long enough, and she has an announcement to make. This moment is about her, and I ain't gonna lie. This was one of the this was a time I was like, yes, Lord, Marie, because I was so tired of the tears. I was just tired of it. I was just really, really tired. I was just like, when is it gonna stop? When is we gonna go to the next scene, if ever? So anyway, they get into it, and Marie just kept trying to reiterate, I don't understand why you're saying all of this, but we're here for something else. I'm here to hear her announcement. I ain't here for all of that. So then, for whatever reason, this heifer gonna say to Marie, okay then, well come here. So Marie looked at her and was like, come here. She said that in that moment, she thought of her ancestors, and she was basically tired of her spirit yet again, and was like, what I'm not finna do is come here. This ain't the 1950s and the 1960s where that was what was the thing to do. I ain't coming nowhere. And my thing is this, like, I guess she was trying to jump bad and say come here. And I'm like, why though? Like, it's like you saying, well, meet me outside, or what you want to do. But are you gonna throw them hands? Or like, why? All because she said, ain't nobody trying to hear all that. We trying to hear the announcement. The reason why we even came here today, ain't nobody trying to see you cry because you're in your feelings, because you cannot take what the history lessons have been leaving out and just be trying to sugarcoat and lie to us. Oh, this is the greatness of America, and it ain't. So anyway, she said, come here, and everybody was tired. Marie told her, yeah, I think it's time for her to leave. And, she was saying all that, and she was like, no, well, come here. So, y'all, I'm tired. It's really too much. It's really too much. I'm really tired in my spirit. And it's just, I'm just like, Antoinette, it is partially your fault, because you ain't had no business bringing this woman to this brunch. What was the point of you bringing this white woman to a Black women's empowerment brunch? I don't understand. What were you thinking? I'm not understanding what your thought process was. I'm not understanding. And so, like, earlier in that same scene before she came back in, she had a one-on-one with her friend and was like, we've had these conversations one-on-one about how, it's been hard for us to have Black-owned businesses, and we're opening them, and then it's just so hard. And so she gonna say it's been hard for her to do stuff. I'm like, girl, why every time anything like this come up, it always has to be, well, I had issues too. But what about my issues? It's literally just like the beginning of the Black Lives Matter movement as far as 2020 goes, when there was a meme that was going around where it had a person's house literally on fire, burning down, and a random person was across the street and was like, but what about my house? What? Does that make sense to you? Does that make real good sense to you? I had to go ahead and pull some Bobby Blue Bland out real quick. I don't think that make real good sense, honey. But anyway, it was some foolishness. I'm tired in my spirit. Next time gonna be some foolishness too, from what I can see. Somebody said something. Oh, why is next week, or whenever the next time this gonna air, Antoinette said something about she having a sip and see for her business opening when she actually opens it. Since when is a sip and see for somebody opening a business? I thought sip and sees was for people who've given birth to children. I don't understand. I'm confused. But anyway, I'm so tired of my spirit. Golly, I'm tired. I'm sleepy, and this is just ignorant. Oh my gosh, y'all. And then Latrice's husband gonna come in on one of his at the house for 14 or however many days situations, and he want her to sign a contract, I guess, because I don't know what he gonna say in this contract, but the sex ain't what it's supposed to be for him, I guess. But anyway, y'all, hopefully y'all enjoyed this recap review. I will hopefully come back later on in the week. Y'all have a good one.